For over 20 years, Jonas lived with his mother in a remote house. But behind those walls, something was happening that no one could have imagined. At first glance, it was just another old, forgotten home, sitting quietly at the edge of a small Texas town. But if you got close enough, you'd feel it, an unease, coldness, as if the house itself was pushing you away. Neighbors whispered about it. Some crossed the street when they had to pass by, and others claimed they heard faint cries at night, cries too soft to be sure of, but too disturbing to forget. Jonas was 30 years old, yet no one ever saw him with friends. No one saw visitors, just him and his aging mother, locked away. The house grew darker with time. The curtains never opened, the windows boarded up, and with each passing year, the smell grew worse, a stench that drifted into the street on hot days, like something rotting. People told themselves it was garbage, or maybe dead animals, but deep down, they knew something wasn't right. Then, one evening, a city inspector was sent to the property. Neighbors thought it would be routine, quick, simple, but what happened next would haunt them forever. The inspector pushed the door open and froze. The air was thick, heavy, poisonous, and the smell so strong it made his stomach turn instantly. Inside, the floor was covered in filth, the walls stained with years of decay, and in the shadows of the hallway, he saw something that made him stumble back. A figure, frail, barely moving. It was Jonas's mother, but she wasn't free. She was trapped in a hidden room beneath the floor, starving, shaking, her skin pale, her body broken. She whispered something, but her voice was so faint, so weak, that the inspector couldn't make out the words. What was she trying to say? What had she endured? The inspector ran outside, gasping for air, and when police arrived moments later, they weren't prepared for what they'd find. The officers pushed deeper into the house, and that's when they noticed the walls, symbols, dozens of them, painted in dark, dried stains. Some resembled blood, others no one could explain. Shelves lined with jars. Inside each jar, something floating. Small bones, pieces of organs, things that didn't belong there. The smell grew stronger, and in the center of the room was a table. On it, strange objects, ritual tools. Jonas wasn't just hiding his mother. He was performing something far worse. When police confronted Jonas, his eyes were wide, yet strangely calm. He claimed his mother was possessed, that keeping her locked away, feeding her scraps, was the only way to control the demon inside her. But that wasn't all. Jonas admitted he had taken animals from the neighborhood, pets that had gone missing, and maybe, just maybe, people too. He called them tainted. He said he had to use them in his rituals, to fight back against the evil. But the symbols on the walls told a darker truth. They weren't just prayers. They were maps, steps in a ritual that no sane mind could follow. One officer later described the house as a museum of nightmares. Every room held something different. A broken doll hanging from the ceiling, a cage with rusted chains, a chair bolted to the floor, surrounded by candles burned to stubs. And in one corner, a pile of clothes. Too many clothes. Clothes that didn't belong to Jonas or his mother. Who had worn them? Where were they now? Neighbors gathered outside as news spread. Some cried. Others couldn't look at the house. How could this have gone unnoticed for 20 years? And yet, even with Jonas arrested, questions remained. What did the symbols truly mean? Were the missing people really victims, or just delusions of a broken mind? And most disturbing of all, what exactly had Jonas been trying to summon or banish? To this day, no one knows the full truth. Some say the house still carries the stench, even after being abandoned. Others claim that if you listen closely at night, you can hear faint whispers coming from the ruins. Whispers that sound like Jonas's mother, calling for help or warning that something was left behind. This was only the beginning, because when Jonas finally confessed during the raid, he revealed a secret even darker than the police had feared. And that secret is something I'll share with you in part 2. Until then, remember, evil doesn't always hide in shadows. Sometimes it lives right next door. If this story sent chills down your spine, don't forget to subscribe for more true horror and mystery tales. And in the comments, tell me, would you dare step foot inside that house?